Right now, we're looking ahead to the top issues Governor Evers plans to cover tonight in his State of the State address.
And new details about who the sheriff's office is looking to talk to during their investigation into the death of a Blue Mounds jogger.
Plus, we're learning a new venue on Willie Street doesn't have the proper licenses and permits. What this means for Canopy's future.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us tonight. Governor Tony Evers will lay out his vision for the future and report where he thinks the state stands.
Amy Reed joins us now from the state capitol ahead of his State of the State address. Amy?
Governor Tony Evers is proud of the work that he's done in his first year in office. Tonight, he will address a room full of senators and representatives in a State of the State address. Based on some excerpts of the speech his team shared with us, he'll likely address his wins like reinstating the pardon board and visiting with agencies and people across the state. He also is expected to talk about the bipartisanship on laws passed this year. He said more than 95% of the bills he signed had that. And speaking of bipartisan, Republicans spoke with us today, and they said they want to see more bipartisanship from the governor's office, though they take credit for the good position they think the state is in.
That the state is in a great position right now, thanks to Republican leadership over the past 8 years. It didn't all just happen over the course of the past few months or even the course of the past year.
That's not to say they don't think Evers has done a good job, though. They said what Evers did right this year is sign the budget, which they take credit for writing. Evers is set to take the podium tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll let you know what else Evers has to say and what Assembly and Senate leaders are thinking about that tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Amy, thank you.
We'll also stream the State of the State live on Facebook starting at 7 tonight. Just search News 3 Now on Facebook to find it. You can also watch live at Channel3000.com.
To weather, a long stretch of light snowfall begins. Let's check your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Well, Charlotte will expect off and on snow from tonight through tomorrow, Friday, and probably into Saturday morning before it finally comes to an end. On Doppler tracking, you can see a large area of light snow, mainly from Madison westward across southwestern Wisconsin. High-resolution Doppler radar shows snow over much of southern Wisconsin, but not all of that is reaching the ground, especially areas north and east of Madison, where visibilities are at or above 10 miles. So maybe only a few flurries are reaching the ground, but notice closer toward the Mississippi River, those visibilities start to drop into the 5-mile range, some places closer to 2 miles toward the La Crosse area. Temperatures right now have held just about steady through the entire afternoon. We're still at our high for the day of 30 degrees here in Madison. Temperatures will only drop into the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning with off and on light snow, and look for maybe an inch or two of accumulation tonight. Some light snow tomorrow with a high of 34. Later on, I'll tell you how much more snow we can expect through Saturday morning in just a few minutes.
Developing tonight, the Dane County Sheriff's Office has new details about vehicles spotted in the area where a jogger was killed in Blue Mounds last week. On Wednesday afternoon, Nicholas Day was killed in the area of County Highway JG and Burgum Road. Detectives would like to talk with the owners of 3 vehicles that were seen in the area between noon and 1:30. A small silver 2-door vehicle and a red vehicle, both seen on JG near Stewart County Park, and a full-size dark-colored pickup truck near Burgum Road. Sheriff's officials are also looking to identify 2 other men seen running in the area. Officials have yet to name the exact cause of death publicly. Here is what a spokesperson from the Dane County Sheriff's Department said when asked why.
I guess an example would be if we were interviewing a suspect and they were able to provide information that only the killer would know. That would be a telltale sign to us. So there's certain information that we don't want to put out into the public because it may jeopardize the investigation.
Anyone with information is asked to call the tip line, and we also have that number on Channel3000.com.
Fitchburg police are working to determine what led to a death on a bike path this afternoon. Police responded to the path next to Fitch-Rona Road, just north of Nesbitt Road, after someone reported a person appeared to have died there. According to an initial investigation, the death does not appear to be suspicious. The Sun Prairie Police Department says traffic is back open in the area of Bird and Vandenberg Streets tonight after a crash. It's causing a power outage throughout the city. Utility crews are working to get power restored. In the meantime, they have put up stop signs in place of stoplights that are down.
An East Street driver who depends on her car for work is thankful to have her stolen car back after a pretty bad start to 2020.
This guy that I had met On New Year's Eve, stole my car and all of my money and all of my roommates' money and the soap out of my bathroom. I'm laughing about it now because I have my car back, but I was really mad for like 2 weeks.
Cassidy's friend Jordan, who is also an Eat Street driver, recognized her car parked near the Kohl Center because of the bumper stickers. He notified a police officer in the area. Then it took a team effort to get Cassidy back to the car. Her boss drove her there. A family friend helped change an exploded tire, and her roommate brought her a tank of gas.
Board members have approved the DNR to start drafting new water quality standards, but they are expecting the process to take several years. The DNR wants to create groundwater standards for 16 substances that right now are unregulated and create limits on the man-made chemical PFAS in drinking and surface water. Those changes could cost municipal and private water systems millions of dollars. DNR also trying to boost interest in hunting. Today, the board approved 6 questions asking people about potential changes that might help increase turnout. Those include possibly extending the 9-day gun season to 19 days, limiting the crossbow season, and eliminating management zones.
Madison alders are questioning a $2.2 million annual price tag to change the city government's structure. That is according to the State Journal. The Finance Committee is revisiting that projected cost, which includes narrowing down the city council and paying alders to work full-time. The discussion started earlier this month after a report found the city's governmental structure is fundamentally unfair to many residents, especially people of color and those with low incomes.
Day 2 of the Senate impeachment trial underway, with House managers delivering their opening arguments against the president. Wisconsin lawmakers are speaking out about what they've seen so far.
I think we should be very concerned about the weakening of executive privilege. Presidents should defend that jealously. They should guard the separation of powers. And I think Congress needs to be a little sensitive to that as well.
I feel that too many of my Republican friends feel that their duty is to support and defend the president, not to follow their oath and support and defend the Constitution.
Before leaving the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, President Trump joked that he'd like to attend the trial. He says executive privilege would prevent testimony from former National Security Advisor John Bolton and other key officials. Overnight, the Senate voted on the rules of the trial, leaving the question of witnesses for later. And we'll continue to have live coverage of the impeachment trial right here on News 3 Now. Democrats are arguing their case now. Republicans will follow on Friday.
Members of the Wisconsin Restaurant Association are pushing for changes to maximize local business exposure during the Democratic National Convention. Today, they held an advocacy day to get to know legislators and share some of their top priorities. One is passing a bill to extend bar hours until 4 a.m., although Madison isn't hosting delegates during the DNC. The Restaurant Association says there will be corporate and special interest group events happening in Madison.
They get back here at midnight, and that's when they want to go have a drink and go have dinner, and they want to talk and chat and have some social time with their other fellow colleagues. We need to have that extra time, and we really want Madison and our surrounding areas here to be able to take advantage of that economic opportunity.
The Restaurant Association says the bill to extend bar time right now is tacked on to another bill about private event venues and wedding barns. They're hoping to separate the two and act quickly before the convention on July 13th. We have new information about the Canopy venue that's open in the former Prism and Plan B building.
After making some open records requests, we found out that not only does the owner, Austin Carl, not have an alcohol license, he also doesn't have a food and drink license, a license for a place of assembly, or a building permit. Jamie Perez joins us now with what this really all means for this business. Jamie?
Well, last Friday during their soft opening, someone complained to building inspection that there was unauthorized construction work there. And without a building permit, that's not allowed. Now, as far as the other permits go, I found out today what that means for the future of the business. Last Friday, after a lot of confusion over the opening of the new Canopy venue on Willie Street, owner Austin Carl is being questioned by Madison's building inspection supervisor, Kevin Bunno.
So last Friday, we received a complaint. It came to our office from an individual, and it alleged that there were interior alterations that were being made to the space without a building permit having been posted.
Bunno says he has gone in person to Canopy and tried reaching out to Carl to enter the building to see if that complaint is true, but hasn't been able to get a hold of him. But according to the Public Health Department, they haven't granted him his food and drink license yet because they said there was still construction work happening in the kitchen area. Carl also mentioned at last week's ALRC meeting that he had plans to make structural changes.
This also includes the erection of a couple of walls that will further create a barrier to escape the sound from there to prevent the escape of the sound from the main dance floor area.
Architect or engineer would need to bring forward plans that would dictate how the building is going to change. We would review them to make sure that they meet the building code. Then we would permit them and follow up to make sure that they're done in a code-compliant manner.
The fire marshal also confirmed Carl has not yet applied for a special occupancy license for place of assembly. He has 30 days to apply for one. The fire marshal also said after inspecting the building last week, there is an expired carbon monoxide system, service needed on the fire extinguishers, and emergency lights that need to be fixed. Now, I did reach out to Austin Carl today to give him a chance to respond to all of this, but he did not return any of my messages.
All right, that theme continues. Jamie Perez reporting. Jamie, thank you.
Sure. Next at 6, a major winter attraction is having trouble getting started this year.
Well, a progress update for the Lake Geneva Ice Castles when we come back. Stay with us.
The ice castles in Lake Geneva hope to open by the end of January or early February. Organizers say Wisconsin's warm winter has made the construction process a challenge. In a Facebook message, they told us they're flying in build crew members from across the country to help with Wisconsin's project.
Might be a good night to grab a lottery ticket. Powerball keeps climbing, now at $321 million. And the last time it was above that $300 million mark was the beginning of June. The drawing will happen just before 10 o'clock tonight. Wisconsin Lottery says the odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 292 million. Don't worry about that. 5 Madison businesses are winners of the 2020 Good Food Awards. 219 winners out of more than 2,000 across the country were announced on Friday in San Francisco. Local companies, JBC Coffee Roasters, Madison Chocolate Company, and Quince and Apple Company, the Modern Candy Company, and Underground Meats were all awarded for their products. The Good Food Foundation recognizes companies that have responsible practices as well as superior taste.
Dave Matthews Band is returning to Summerfest. Despite dominating the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's official fan vote leaderboard with more than 1 million votes, the popular rock band did not make the cut last week. They will play at the American Family Insurance Amphitheater on Thursday, July 2nd. Tickets go on sale February 21st. $2 of every ticket sold will go to planting 1 million trees worldwide. Well, for any parents looking to celebrate their child's good grades, you can get a deal on laser tag. Starting on Friday through Super Bowl Sunday, UltraZone is running their annual Games for Grades deal. Students with an A on their report card can get 1 free game of laser tag. Students with a B can get 1 half-price game. The deal is valid for students of all ages.
Coming up in sports, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur gives his end-of-the-season press conference wrap-up, and Kevin Lewis will share those thoughts on the NFC Championship loss.
And we are monitoring light snow moving through tonight and tomorrow. Gary will have the details next in your First Alert forecast.
All right, Madison Streets Division plans to deploy 32 trucks to salt main roads as the snow falls tonight. At midnight, a new crew will be sent out to plow and salt roads overnight. They are warning roads could be slippery as you make your way out the door in the morning. Advised to plan extra time, drive a little slowly. Gary's here with all the details on exactly what they're talking about.
Well, we're seeing some light snow tonight. Most of it not reaching the ground in the Madison area, but it is farther out to the west, and that will happen with time. As we take a look at 3 things you need to know in the forecast: light snow, not only for tonight, but tomorrow, Friday, and also into Saturday morning before it tapers to flurries or comes to an end. There'll also be some areas of fog, and that might reduce visibility. Already dense fog advisories in effect for parts of Iowa and Minnesota may have to be expanded eastward if the fog gets thick enough around here. And it'll be dreary but mild into next week. Not seeing much in the way of sunshine, but at least temperatures will stay in the middle to upper 30s. On high-resolution Doppler radar, you can see a lot of snow across southern Wisconsin, but most of this from Madison on toward the north and east is not reaching the ground. The snow farther closer to the Mississippi River is, and that's the more concentrated area of snow that extends back into Iowa, and it's continuing to lift toward the north and east. So with time, as the atmosphere moistens up, we'll start to see that snow reach the ground here. We have alert days in the forecast for tonight and tomorrow for light snow of about 1 to 2 inches overnight. There'll also be some low visibilities and fog. And then on Friday, the snow could mix with a little rain south of Madison in the afternoon, but additional snow accumulations are possible at least into Saturday morning. As far as impacts are concerned, driving, there might be some moderate impacts between the slippery roads with temperatures right around freezing. You can get some refreezing from slushy snow as well as water trapped near the road. That's actually what causes your car to hydroplane and slide. But walking shouldn't be too much of a problem as long as you go slowly, not looking at a lot of ice. And clearing shouldn't be a problem either. You might need to take the shovel out a couple of times, but it'll be mainly light snow spread out over about a 3-day period. Computer models, the Future Track computer model showing about 1 inch of snow through early tomorrow morning. Then during the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, perhaps another inch or so of snow. And then from Friday into early Saturday, maybe another inch to 1.5 inches of snow. So when all is said and done, we're probably looking at somewhere between about 2 and 4 inches through much of southern Wisconsin. A lot of that could be temperature dependent. Areas where temperatures are a little bit higher, that might see a little bit less in the way of snow accumulation. Still are some winter weather advisories out to the west of us, and notice the visibility is dropping because of snow near the Mississippi River. Farther to the west, it's in the form of fog, and there are dense fog advisories over parts of Iowa and Minnesota. As we check out the live view from the Edgewater Skycam, quiet around here, not seeing any snowflakes in the lights of the Capitol. High today 31, the low 21, so a little bit above average again today. Our current temperature is 30 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Winds are out of the south at 14 miles per hour. Humidity continues to increase, and as that happens, eventually those snowflakes will start making it to the ground. So for tonight, look for mostly cloudy skies, some light snow, some areas of fog. Low temperature only about 1 degree colder than we are now at 29, and maybe 1 inch or 2 of snow by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, some off and on snow showers, some areas of fog as well with a high of 34. Future track, you can see the snow coming in tonight. Continuing off and on through tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid-30s for tomorrow. Tomorrow night comes back a little bit, low temperature around 30. And then Friday there could be a mixture of rain and snow farther to the south where temperatures are in the middle 30s. Snowfall amounts, again, about 1 inch overnight, maybe another inch during the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, and maybe another inch to 1.5 inches through Friday night and early Saturday morning. 7 to 10 day forecast. Those temperatures staying above normal into next week. Another chance of snow in the Wednesday, Thursday time frame.
We'll show you how the Badgers channeled assistant coach Howard Moore despite the fact that he's away from the team. Sports is next. Packers insider Rob Demovsky breaking the news that Packers head coach Matt LaFleur will retain defensive coordinator Mike Pettin for a third season in Green Bay. The Packers defense got trucked by Raheem Mostert and the 49ers offense, but the Packers didn't do much right in any phase of the game Sunday. LaFleur gave his season-ending news conference today. He said the thing that still bothers him about the NFC Championship game is that it looked like his team lacked fire.
Especially when you get to a championship game like that, and you know what's at stake, and just all across the board. It wasn't just the defense. Our offense and special teams weren't up to par as well, and I was just disappointed with it didn't seem like we had the same energy and effort that we had displayed throughout the course of the season.
The Wisconsin men's basketball team uses the phrase on time, on target when they're running the offense successfully. Head coach Greg Gard said good shooting teams are usually good passing teams. They did both last night during their 82-68 win over Nebraska. 23 assists and a school record 18 three-pointers. 8 different Badgers hit at least one triple, and the Badgers moved to 5-3 in conference play and 9-1 at the Kohl Center.
Ball didn't stick. We didn't over dribble. It went side, top side, back 2 or 3 times. And you have to move it like that against how they play defensively and play inside out. We've been saying on time, on target. That's a Coach Moore phrase that he brought when he came back. And for the most part, we put the ball on time and on target. And when you move the ball like that and put it on target, you're going to shoot it well.
4 players suspended for a total of 25 games following last night's melee at Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence. Kansas smacked Kansas State by 21, then they started smacking each other. Kansas forward Silvio De Souza got 12 games, picked up a stool at one point, but thankfully no one was seriously hurt. One of his teammates got 2 games. 2 K-State players got a total of 11 games. The Brewers should be happy that Derek Jeter is going to the Hall of Fame. He's the reason the crew has Christian Yelich. His front office success is light years away from approaching his success on the field, but the 5-time World Series champ said he never talked about the Hall of Fame after his playing days because he didn't want to jinx it. Well, he was on 396 of 397 ballots.
I never took this for granted. I understand that these are the best players to ever play in the game, to ever play the game. And when you're in it, I just never necessarily sat down and viewed myself that way. It was always what's next, what's next, what's next, and how can we win? And then how can we win some more?
LeBron James continues to do good deeds, surprising kids at the Harlem YMCA and giving them a few new sets of wheels. James partnering with the rideshare company Lyft to provide some bikes and more means of transportation for people who may need them. No snow tires on those bikes, I see. So the kid's happy to take a picture and maybe wait for better weather to get out and ride a bike.
Oh,
yes, very cool.
LeBron's
yep.
Awesome. I want to know who that one guy was.
I know. You're not the only one.
Jeter. How do you not put
Derek Jeter, the captain?
Oh my goodness.
Didn't make the cut.
Maybe we'll find out later.
Yes. It's a matter of principle, I'm sure.
Yes, I know. We've heard that before. I thought that ended last year. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, skies are cloudy. We've got some light snow out there. It looks like a lot of snow, but not all of that is reaching the ground. You can see where the visibilities are at or above 10 miles. Probably very little of the snow reaching the ground, but it's more likely doing so farther out to the west, out toward Platteville and west of Richland Center. Current temperatures haven't moved very much all afternoon. We're still at 30 in Madison, 34 in Janesville, but most areas are just below freezing. Highs tomorrow, mid-30s, Friday mid-30s as well with some light snow, probably about 3 or 4 inches by the time all is said and done by Saturday morning over that time period. And then quiet for much of next week with mild weather continuing.
Gary, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.